Welcome to the Hire Yourself podcast. Are you stuck in the corporate rat race, worrying about layoffs, and longing to take control of your destiny? This is the place for frustrated executives like you who want to escape the grind, live life on your own terms, and build wealth. Whether you're ready to make a full transition into franchise ownership or want to start building a side business along your corporate job, Pete guides you every step of the way. He'll talk about how to create career and income security, diversify your assets and income, and live life on your own terms. Your path to controlling your own destiny starts now.
Welcome to the Hire Yourself podcast. My name is Pete Gilfillan, and I am an entrepreneur, a nationally recognized franchise consultant, the international best-selling author of the book Hire Yourself, and certainly a proud corporate escapee. You know, my mission, my passion in life is to help senior-level executives take control of their destiny, to build wealth, and to live life on their terms. And during my podcast, I always try to answer a question. So what I'm seeing now out in the world, and you can, I'm sure you're thinking about this, is that, you know, there is now been a shift where before employees had all the leverage in regards to the search or the hiring process. We have now seen that leverage is now shifted to the employers or in the hiring process. And I believe there are 5 reasons why executives, senior level executives, need to be concerned about the shift of the leverage or the power to employers in this job market, right? Well, there is, as we kind of see some stuff going on, there is increased economic uncertainty. And when we have economic uncertainty or disruptions, such as recessions or global crises, employers get the upper hand in negotiations. There's just uncertainty, and so they can pull back from a standpoint. So there can be corporate restructuring, they can be cost cutting, but bottom line is that employers capitalize on these economic certainties to reduce labor costs and increase control. So think about the pandemic. That would be a great example of it. You know, also, another reason why that corporations are getting the upper hand in negotiations is this downsizing, this streamline. Employers now are increasing their focus on reducing overhead. One of the biggest expenses businesses have is labor. And when we talk about expensive labor, let's talk about middle management, senior level executive positions, right? So they're eliminating those from that standpoint. So think of companies like General Electric, IBM, HP. They've been engaged in large-scale restructuring to reduce the number of executives, relying more on AI and data-driven decision-making to lead the humans in their strategic roles. It's crazy, I know. Another reason why is that this rise of this gig economy and remote work, right? Employers are, you know, kind of are transitioning to kind of this flexible work structures, including kind of gig assignments, remote work, with this idea is that they have a greater access to more talent, and they have more flexibility. If the economy changes and stuff like that, they can shift a little bit. You're seeing companies like Twitter, Facebook, and stuff like that reduce their physical offices and embracing remote work to cut costs. Bottom line is we're seeing more and more of it from a standpoint. You know, another reason why is that there's a decline. There's just this lack of loyalty. This kind of this bond that between employees and employers. There was a kind of sense of loyalty. That loyalty no longer exists, right? Everybody is kind of that social contract of kind of being committed to each other is gone. So fewer companies are worried about long-term retention. They're just working on, hey, what do we need now? And we'll go get more employees if we need it, which is crazy. And you see companies like Meta, Amazon, they've ousted executives and restructuring. Bottom line is you're seeing more and more of lack of loyalty right there. And then we've talked a lot about AI in my podcast, right? AI and automation is reducing management layers. They're now leveraging AI to make strategic decisions. It can consume a lot of data, and it can make recommendations and even decisions. So they are testing out tools that can make executives. So you just need less executives. And so All five of these reasons are giving more power to employers over employees in this hiring process. So what do we do? Well, there is, I think, 6 reasons why senior level executives need to start considering figuring out what plan B is, considering becoming an entrepreneur. And that might be investing in a franchise. That might be buying an existing business. That might be starting your own consulting business. That might be starting a real estate portfolio. But bottom line is there are 6 reasons why you need to start considering putting together plan B. And bottom line is when we think about becoming an entrepreneur, you have greater control over your career income, right? When we have a job, we don't have control. Whether you're investing in a franchise, buying an existing business, starting a consulting business, doing real estate, you are in control of your career. You're in control of your income. Bottom line is that nobody can take that away with you. Whether you're in good times or bad times, you are protected. Also, that, bottom line is that executives, you have been given a great gift. You have got great earnings, or you build strong business acumen. And why not take this asset that you've gained and use it for your own purposes? You take that experience and literally leverage it to run your own business. So if you're going to work hard, you might as well be the one rewarded for that. If you're building a business, you might as be one that gets the financial benefit from it. So use all those great skills to build your own kind of side gig. Again, it can be a consulting gig, it could be a franchise, it could be buy existing business, it could be a real estate portfolio, but use that business acumen. And another thing you can do to take back control is when we become an entrepreneur, we're creating wealth, we're creating financial independence. Again, you're building something for somebody else. You're building an asset that can be sold, or it could be a legacy for future generations. But you are truly creating financial independence where you're not dependent on anybody else. You've created your own income. And one of my favorite things is becoming an entrepreneur, to take away the control from the corporation so you're not indebted to them, is this ability to have flexibility in regards to your schedule, or simply put, have work-life balance, right? And we've been in those positions, those executive positions. They're very demanding, right? And it's very stressful. And owning a business, it's a lot of hard work, and there is stress. There's no question about it. But bottom line is that you're in control of your schedule. You're in control of your work-life balance. And that doesn't necessarily mean work less. Like, I love working. I work 12 hours a day, but it can be on my terms. So if I want to go to my daughter's soccer game, that means maybe I get up a little bit earlier and get some stuff done, do some stuff when I get back. But bottom line is, when you have the ability to control your own schedule, you have that kind of time freedom. Another way that you can take back the power is this ability to make impactful decisions without having a bureaucracy. So becoming an entrepreneur, the idea is that you can make the key decisions, and you don't have to go through all the bureaucracy. If you've been a corporate executive, you understand bureaucracy, right? You got to go through lots of hoops to make a decision, and that can take time and a lot of pain and stuff like that. When you are a business owner, bottom line is that you can make decisions and you can implement and you can go. It gives you more flexibility in the direction where you're going. And also, when we talk about this idea of taking back power from employers through becoming an entrepreneur, and again, any type of entrepreneur, bottom line is that there is security through diversification. When you have multiple different revenue streams and you have multiple different assets, a lot of times as corporate executives, we get kind of singularity, or our sole income comes from a corporation. So we are vulnerable to layoffs, downsizing, to corporate restructuring. So when we have a business or businesses, that allows us to diversify our assets and income, and it just protects us. So bottom line is there has been a significant shift of power in regards to hiring from the employee now to the employer. And so as a senior level executive, you need to take back that power. Taking back that power is becoming an entrepreneur. And again, that can be starting your own consulting business. That could be investing in a franchise, buying an existing business. It could be starting a real estate portfolio. And there are 6 great reasons why you should consider becoming an entrepreneur. benefits of those that help you become stronger, more independent, and simply put, gain control so you're never dependent on the corporate world. Bottom line is that the market is shifting. The job market is shifting, and senior level executives remain at risk or vulnerable to job cuts, to restructuring, to shifting employer power. So it is now time to embrace becoming an entrepreneur, and that can be done on a part-time basis, full-time basis, whatever it may be. My job, my passion is to help senior level executives take control of their destiny, to build wealth and to live life on their terms. And I encourage you to schedule a 15-minute call with me. I can kind of take you through and learn a little bit about you and understand where you're at and tell you a little bit about what I do. If you like what you heard today, I encourage you to subscribe and to follow my podcast. Thanks so much, and have a great day.
Thanks for joining us on the Hire Yourself podcast. Pete's here to help you break free from the corporate rat race, take control of your destiny, and finally live life on your own terms. Whether that's jumping into franchise ownership full-time or starting it as a side hustle. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a fellow frustrated executive, and leave a review to let us know your thoughts. Until next time, take charge, build your future, and live life on your own terms.